These are the plaintiffs, Heather and Michael Boucher. Heather says she fell in love with the defendant's sample photo album, so she hired them to photograph her wedding. Well, the wedding was absolutely fantastic. The defendants, however, were the downfall. They were very difficult to reach after the wedding. The pictures they took were subpar, and she wouldn't wish these defendants on anyone. They're suing for $4,103, the amount they pay them, and for the 2 meals they ate at the reception. These are the defendants, David and Shannon Fargo. David says he should have known from the beginning these plaintiffs were going to be a nightmare. Heather even accused him of out and out trying to cheat her due to a simple addition mistake. Bottom line, he's going to be quite happy to rid himself of this real-life bridezilla and her mother, who's a real-life motherzilla. They're accused of not getting the picture.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiffs hired the defendant to photograph their wedding and say that the photographs were gnarly. But the defendant says the plaintiffs were impossible. And by the way, the plaintiffs are even suing to get back the meals that the photogs ate at the reception. It's the case of Hell's Bells.
Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Heather and Michael Boucher?
Yes.
You are suing David and Shannon Fargo doing business as, okay, you don't want us to mention your business name, but it's your photography studio, for $4,103 that you want returned to you, the amount that you paid them, plus their 2 meals at your wedding, because they have not followed through, according to you, on the contract that you had with them. Tell me what's going on.
So we met David and Shannon, his wife. We sat down in my home May
How'd you
13th.
find them?
My mom found them, I believe, in the back of a magazine.
Are you the mom?
Yes.
Okay.
So they came to our home May 13th. They told us about their packages that they had, and they showed us their great inlay albums that I fell in love with.
What are inlay albums? Do you have a sample here that I can look
Yes,
at?
we do.
What does it mean, inlay album?
The pictures from the wedding, they're on an
Part
artist.
of the page
an artist,
itself, you mean? Is
Yeah,
that-
and the artist puts the artwork together and then it's printed.
Wow, this is nice. Unfortunately, this isn't your wedding, right?
No.
Okay. All right, so go on.
So we fell in love with their inlay albums. That's why
Right.
we chose them. In the meantime, they did an engagement session with us. It was part of their gold package that we selected.
Do you have the listing of all the packages?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay, so go on.
So we took engagement session photos with them. Something had happened during the print of our engagement picture that we selected. I had emailed him.
What had happened?
My fingers and the creases, they were looking black. Like every wrinkle that I have was appearing like it's black.
Wait, are you talking about in the photo? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay,
The
go
photo
on.
that came to my house.
Okay.
So I emailed him, told him there's something wrong with the picture. Can we get it redone? He called. He said that it was the printing company. He doesn't actually get to see it. So my mother, being the mother of the bride, she emailed him just wanting to make sure that it was the print, or there was nothing wrong with the camera. Wanted to make sure our wedding pictures wouldn't be
Do you have
ruined.
that picture?
No.
Okay, go on. Because that got fixed?
He sent us a duplicate.
Okay, and that one was fine?
Correct.
Okay, and then, but what happened when your mother reached out to him?
When my mother reached out to him, he called me furious that she reached out to him because he works for Michael and I, and my mother has nothing to do with it. I tried to explain to him, just like any other mother of the bride, she wants best for her daughter. I'm sure she was just concerned and wanted to make sure that our wedding pictures wouldn't have the same occurrence.
Okay, was there some problem with the contact with the mother? It was just an email. It's not like she stormed in there and started banging the tables.
No, the problem was already rectified and I got a phone call after the fact.
With the mother?
Yes.
So did you have a nasty conversation with the mother on the phone? Is that
No.
why you were angry?
No. No,
You just didn't like that she emailed you?
I was dealing with the bride and the groom. The problem was already rectified. The picture was on its way. It was being shipped to them. It was a printing error at the print shop. It wasn't us. It was a printing error.
Is she accurate when she says that you called her furious that the mother had emailed you?
No, I just told her that the contract was between her and I.
And let's
Michael.
keep it between you and I.
Correct, because
All right.
it gets real messy.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. All right, so then what happens?
So I got the
When was the wedding?
July 15th, 2011.
Okay, and then he came to the wedding, right? Obviously.
He did show up.
And he took pictures at the wedding.
Yes.
And did you receive a DVD with the high-resolution digital files, pictures of the wedding?
Yes.
All right, so the issue is you did not receive your 7 flush mount inlay books.
Correct.
All right, so when do you start calling him and telling him and start finding him unresponsive, I guess, is how...
After the wedding, he told me that I needed to choose 80 to 90 pictures. Sent him the picture numbers from the disc and let him know the 80, 90 pictures I want in the albums. I sent him that list on September 3rd.
Okay.
I asked for confirmation because I hadn't received any word that he got it, so I asked for confirmation September 15th through email, asking him if he got my
Your emails
correspondence,
from-
my emails. No answer. Called him by phone the 26th of September, no answer. The 27th of September, no answer. Left him voicemails. This goes on and on and on. Called him the 28th, 29th of September, filed a claim with Connecticut Attorney General. I also filed a complaint with the Better Business Bureau.
Okay, what's going on?
Well, you used the word a little earlier in your talking to her, unresponsive. That's what the situation was. I had an organ failure in the beginning of September, and I was hospitalized twice, once for 20 days, once for 15 days. I came back home the second week of December. There was 3 couples involved, 2 couples other than this couple that were owed books, but the weddings were 90% completed. So when I got home, I found several nasty messages.
Well, I mean, she'd been calling and emailing. And,
We weren't there.
okay, I
we weren't
understand
there.
that, but if there's only 3 couples involved, there's only 3 couples, so you couldn't make the phone call to 3 couples? I mean, I realize, I'm sorry to hear about the organ failure. I'm glad to see that you look great
Yeah.
and that you got through it. I'm sure this was a super scary time for you. I understand that. But
we
understand, do you not, how
Yeah.
a bride
Yeah.
who all of a sudden thinks you've ditched town
Absolutely.
might get a little panicky and
Absolutely.
maybe leave a panicky, nasty, and I don't know what you mean by nasty. She says she threatened legal action. Or was she say she was going to knife you? What was the...
No.
Okay, so these plaintiffs are not only suing for a refund, they want the cost of the meals, the 2 meals the photographers ate. What do you think about that?
I think that's ridiculous. If you're paying that much for a wedding, what's 2 more meals? $20, $50?
But they're upset with it. Are they entitled to it as a righteous position, or does it make them look just petty?
Makes them look petty.
Anybody think they're entitled to that if the photographer screwed up?
Well, maybe. You never know. If it was a terrible screw up.
I mean, really? Gosh, going inside the courtroom.
The legal action, when I got the messages, when I finally got home and got the messages, we received the writ 6 days after that.
Okay.
So
But I don't understand. When you finally realize, I've left her hanging for 2 months, I can understand why she's angry. Why don't you pick up a phone, call her, and explain what happened?
because she said she was going to sue.
So what?
So we
But
chose.
if she knew what the truth was, maybe she wouldn't. If somebody had called you and said, I had organ failure, I've been hospitalized for 2 months, I'm so sorry, would I be here? Well,
No.
let me rephrase that. I would be here. You guys might not be here. I mean, I don't understand. How could you not call her and say, this is what's going on? Despite your health problems, you have fingers and you have a phone, and you have fingers and you have a phone, and you're part of the business, right? You didn't have a health problem. Why didn't you call the 3 couples and let them know what was going on?
When I got home, I did call 2 of them. At the time, Heather also left a message and said she did not want us to do the books and she was going to settle in the court. So at that point,
But why couldn't you just call and say, just let me explain to you what happened and try to smooth it over and fix it? Does he need this stress?
no.
Right.
So why couldn't you just do that? I don't understand. You're part of the business. Why didn't you just do that? It's ridiculous. All right, now, let us discuss with you the amount, because I find that they breached. Now let's discuss the amount. You are suing to get all of your money back. Why would I permit you to get all of your money back when you're not missing all of the product? If you get $4,000 from him when all he owes you are the 7 books, okay, there's like 6 parts to your gold package, and 5 of them have happened. It's just the last part of the books. So why would he have to pay you $4,000? Then his time was free. All your wedding pictures are free. You have digital quality, high resolution pictures that you could take anywhere and make albums, but it should all be free for you?
If I had breached a contract, would I be responsible for the full contract price? I would.
No, if you had breached a contract, you'd be responsible for the damages. That's how court works. You're responsible for the damages. And instead, what you're being is greedy by asking to have everything refunded to you. And now all of a sudden you have free wedding pictures. I had to pay for mine. Okay, he had to pay for his, but you'd get him for free.
I don't think his services were.
Absolutely, you have a problem, and the problem arose afterwards. And the problem is exactly defined as follows, $800. And do you know how the problem is so finely defined? Because it'd be really hard for me to figure out what it will cost you to get albums somewhere. But it's, why are you raising your hand in the middle of my saying something that is obviously in your favor? Do you
I have a receipt for the books.
Douglas, do something.
You want me to choke him? Throw him out?
Let me finish. The difference between the gold package and the package underneath, the flush yada yada package, are the books. And the difference in those two prices is $800. Now, you say, I hired him, Judge, because I love these books. These are the books I want. Where else can she get these books?
From Italy. We'd have to get 80 pictures from her. Then the 80 pictures are sent to Italy. The artwork's done. They email it back to me.
No, but who decides where the pictures go?
They make up a layout.
They do it.
Then they send me a copy of it. The copy goes to the bride. She makes her corrections, sends an email. The email goes back to Italy. They make the changes. And then it goes.
All the labor takes place in Italy, though?
That's correct.
Other than sending the 80 photos?
To me. Then I send everything to them.
But I mean, I guess the only part you do is send the 80 photos to Italy. Italy figures out where to put them in the book. So if all he does is forward it to them, maybe we could closely monitor your contact and get you these. Consider me Monty Hall. You're too young. Maybe your mother's too young. Let's make a deal. Pick your remedy. I will either order him to pay you $800 and you go on your way, or I will order him to cooperate and forward to the company the 80 pictures you pick, and to have the company email you directly with the artwork so that you can supervise it and make sure that it's what you want. Which do you prefer?
The albums.
The albums. Can we do this?
Can we make it clear
Let's
that
do
it's
this
80
and
to
erase
90?
the bad juju, right? It's
We
good
never,
for the
Your
soul.
Honor, we never refused to do them. This was a problem
Okay,
because I was sick.
let's do this, and let's have you in as little contact as possible. Shall we?
How do we supervise to make sure?
Well, what happens is they'll email you instead of emailing you, or what? They will email you, but you'll
They
forward it
email
to
me
her.
the artwork.
Oh, I'm going to live to regret this, aren't I, Douglas?
No, they email me the artwork and I forward it.
Okay,
I
did you
forward
pick
it
the 80 pictures?
80 to 90.
80 to 90?
Yep.
And did she send them to you?
Yep.
Okay, so did you send them to Italy?
No.
Because of the, okay, go send them to Italy.
Okay,
All right,
no
now,
problem.
after you send them to Italy, Italy will send, this is exactly what's going to happen, right? Italy's going to then send you a digital albums.
It actually comes through, so you can look at. It looks like it's the
Page
book.
by page.
Correct.
Right.
file.
It's a PDF.
Perfect.
file.
So you want to do it this way? If it doesn't work, I'm going to order him to pay you the $800. Let's do it this way. This is a better way. If it doesn't work, you still have option number 1 available to you. If you let me know there's a problem, that's what we'll do.
Okay.
Let's do that. You're going to have beautiful pictures. Can I see them too? Can I waylay them? Make sure I see them. I want to see them, okay? Good luck, folks. That's our resolution.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, so the judge did her best to try to resolve this. Fair resolution in your mind?
Most definitely. We would love to have her have the books. People love to see the books.
Yeah, shouldn't you have called her?
Yep.
You should have called her, right?
I couldn't call her.
You should have called her.
I couldn't call her.
You
I
should
was
have
ill.
called her. Right around the corner there. Someone on your behalf, at least. Come on in here. Step on in here. All right, so the judge did her best. You happy the way this stands right now?
It's fine.
That's a no, isn't it? Or is that a yes? How about you?
I mean, we're getting our albums, hopefully.
Is that what you want out of it?
If
they come out right.
If it's the albums that you saw. Harvey?
Okay, you gotta love this as the button to the case. The photographer still hasn't done the book. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.